Shalom. I want to start out by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, Call Hello Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. I'm just going to read this article real quick and then pull up a couple precepts. All right. U.S., UK, France attack on Syria was a war crime, according to an analyst, which in fact it is. An analyst says the recent suspected chemical weapons attack in Syria town of Douma was a false flag operation staged by the enemies of the Syrian government, which is the U.S., UK, France, Saudi Arabia, Israel, adding that the ensuring coordinated missile strike by the United States, Britain, and France on the war-torn Arab country is an act of war and a war crime. This was a false flag event orchestrated by the White Helmets, and it was part of a designed operation to give Great Britain, France, and the United States cover to do this missile strike, and it should be prosecuted in the United Nations as a war crime. All right, the White Helmets was founded by Great Britain, funded by the United States of America, funded by Great Britain, and with the okay, if you will, of Saudi Arabia and Israel. All right, they're all for terrorism. Scott Bennett, a former U.S. Army psychological warfare officer, told Press TV in an interview on Friday. Now, what needs to happen, of course, is that the Russians need to double down on their military presence, guarantee that no other attack occurs by the French, by the United States, or by the British, he added, which won't happen, all right? They already sending more troops to Syria. The alleged chemical weapons attack on April 7 reportedly killed at least 60 people and wounded more than 1,000 others in Douma, located in eastern Ghouta on the outskirts of the Syrian capital, Damascus. The U.S., Britain, and France blamed the Syrian government for the suspected attack and carried out a sting of missile strikes on a number of targets in Syria on April 14th. The Syrian government strongly denied the allegation and called on the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, the OPCW, to send a fact-finding mission for an investigation. All right, and they already proved that the chemical weapon attack was a false flag. All right, White Helmets was created by Great Britain, funded by the United States and Britain. All right, they know exactly what they're doing. This goes all the way back to Project Timber Sycamore. All right, now I want to read this. All right, U.S. and Israeli officials intensify the drumbeat against Iran. All right, Israel has been wanting to go to war with Iran for quite some time. All right, now if you have the United States playing by the rules of law, then there's going to be a balance of power. That means other nations get to defend themselves. So like, everything I'm seeing, it's the Lord of Hosts, man. It's the Lord of Hosts. He's bringing these guys down. U.S. and Israeli officials issued tough warnings about Iran's activities in Syria and beyond on Thursday. And this is the propaganda, mainstream media, propaganda machine. In the lead up to President Donald Trump's May 12th decision on whether to stay in the Iran nuclear deal, all right? That's not, he's going to scrap that. The steady drumbeat appeared to reinforce signals Trump has been sending about his intent to leave the deal, and in the absence of any clear sign the White House has a day after plan, there are deepening concerns in some quarters that White House policy toward Tehran may be shifting from denuclearization to regime change. All right, they've been wanting to do regime change on them. They've been planning this for quite some time. That's what they do. All right. I think we are not moving toward a new agreement, said Clement Thermi, a Bahrain-based research fellow for Iran at the International Institute for Strategic Studies. I just want to read the propaganda just so I can see what they're up to. I think we are moving toward a regime change policy in the U.S. U.S. and Israeli officials laid out a litany of examples of malign Iranian behavior on Thursday. Some laid the ground for potential Israeli action against Iran within Syria. Others warned the conflict could spread from there. They don't care about that. Speaking to lawmakers, Defense Secretary James Mattis said that Iran is bringing in increased amounts of weaponry to Syria and suggested that Iran intends to attack Israel. They're allies with Syria. Syria is a legitimate government. Syria has the right to call in whoever they want to defend their country. All right, they have the right to defend themselves. Mattis said Iran's proxy activities in Syria are driving a significant risk of escalated conflict that could engulf the region. Privately, U.S. military officials are warning of the potential for more direct confrontation between Iran and Israel that could spiral out of control. The potential for escalation has grown, and one defense official told CNN's Barbara Starr the Pentagon is publicly trying to emphasize that any military moves by Iran would take us where we don't want to go, the official said. They want to go there. there is serious concern this could escalate. All right, again, I just wanted to read some of the propaganda. They've been planning to go against Iran for quite some time. All right, and honestly, I look in here like all these news articles, and they don't say anything like that on CNN. Like, I just found out they're still probing Russia, all that. Mainstream media won't touch on anything really. This is all they got. Seriously, this is reality television. Mainstream media news in America is just television. Nothing here. It's reality TV. Anyways, so I'm gonna read some scriptures. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? All right, this is Babylon the Great, which is the United States of America. Thou become like unto us. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. The noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Now, it's not talking about Satan. All right, Satan's an angel. His name's not Lucifer. All right. Lucifer means light bearer. All right, really, the true light bearer is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, but they call themselves Luciferian. They call themselves the Illuminati, the illuminated ones. It's reference to Illuminati, the military-industrial complex, those major bankers. All right, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? All right, and it's talking about United States of America, because that's the capital of this whole thing. That's weakens the nations. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregation in the side of the north. I will ascend upon the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. That's why you're never going to see George W. Bush go to prison. All right. That's why you're never going to see Hillary Clinton go to prison, because if they start abiding by the law, that means there's a balance of power. That means nations get to defend themselves, all right? And it's ultimately going to lead to destruction of the United States of America. It's happening right now, all right? It's funny how North Korea, they create nuclear weapons, so whether they denuclearize or not, they know how to make nuclear weapons. And they did that because it's a deterrent against the United States of America. And now there's peace. It's funny how that happens. Anyways, we're in the midst of World War III right now. War with Israel and Iran is certain. War with the United States of America and Russia is certain. They're sending more troops in Syria because they're going after that oil. And their plans is regime change. So with that, I'm going to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, Kol Halo Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Double honors, apostle, elders, great millstone, who are the holy apostles, prophets mentioned in the book of Revelation. And bless Akim that are pushing word of true sincerity. To all you men of great millstone, I say, Barakatam, Bahasham Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, Waha, Racha, Qudash, and Shalom. If Hillary Clinton or George W. Bush goes to jail, they're screwed. That means they have to start following the laws, and that makes them weaker. All right, and that means there's a balance of power. It's never going to happen. Shalom.